Hey everybody, I'm JJ Johnson. You're watching Reality Survival. So right now what I want to do is I just want to real quick show you a bug out survival supplement, a Boss fire starting kit from Stanford Outdoor Supplies. They sent me this to take a look at, and I think it's a pretty cool little kit, so I'm just going to show you. I'll light some of this stuff up here real quick, show you how to start it. This is a 33-piece fire starting kit. And it's got a lighter, it's got steel wool, 4 pieces of charred cloth, 2 tea light candles, a ferrocerium rod and striker, pocket magnifier, matches, 6 magnesium capsules, 1 ounce of fat wood sticks, some foil paper, pencil sharpener, 6 tender quick tabs, 10 foot of jute twine, waterproof tinder ball, a wire saw, 6 foot of Kevlar thread, a flange bearing, a folding knife, and a survival information sheet. So tons of different options for you as far as starting fire goes. We're not going to light all these up today, but we're going to light up a few and you know, just show you that they work and all that kind of stuff. And with that, let's get started. Okay guys, so probably one of the best pieces of gear in this little kit, and I don't mean to say that it's the only good piece. I'm just saying as far as fire starting goes, a really great thing to carry is just a regular Bic lighter. You know, just one of these mini Bic lighters in your pocket, and you know, you can really get a lot of different kinds of fires going. You know, having fire is easier than having to use spark, obviously. So if you do that though, what you want to do, and what they've done here in this kit, is if you're going to store it away, you want to make sure you take and wrap some wire around the end of the button. You know, the lever that depresses it when you start it. And the reason you want to do that is so that it doesn't empty the gas out on you. So that's kind of a cool little thing right there. But this is the #1 go-to. You know, in an emergency situation, if you can use a lighter, use a lighter. You know, I think you should. So that is a good little piece of equipment there. The second thing that I really like in here, and I definitely advocate carrying, is a couple of tea light candles. Now these little tea light candles are great. They'll probably burn for a couple of hours. I don't know exactly, I've never really timed one, but they burn quite a while. And the great thing about this is that for starting a wet wood fire, this is going to work great. You can just take this and set it right down underneath your platform, or on your platform in your brace. Put wet tinder over it and just let it dry it out, and then it's going to start it eventually. So this is a really good item to have, and one that I highly recommend that you have in your kits. So this is something new that I haven't seen before. I've seen and used magnesium before, but I've never seen it come in pellet form. So what they've done is they've put these in some little pellets, and we're going to light these up real quick and just see how this works. Magnesium burns very hot, and it works great for starting fires. We'll just take a couple of them and see how big of a little flame it does. The one downside to magnesium is it generally burns very fast, so I'm not, you know, thinking that this is going to be a very huge flame that's going to last very long, but we will give it a shot and see. This is like dust right here. It's like magnesium dust. And we'll just take a ferro rod and spark. See what we can do here. Yep. There you go. Just kind of got to mix it up, mix it around a little bit. The dust is so fine, you almost got to kind of move it around and get it to burn. But it does burn, and that's going to be one way to you know, get something going. So that's kind of a quick little flash tinder there. Let's move on to the next thing. We've got some waterproof matches, looks like. These are the UCO waterproof matches, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm not the biggest fan of matches, but they're kind of like a lighter. They work well because you've got a flame. One thing that I will talk to you about generally is when you're going to hold a match and light it, just make sure that you hold it up close to the tip. And that way you don't break it off. And that's gonna be one of the best methods for doing that for you. Okay, let's light up another piece. Here's a piece of tinder quick, or quick tinder. Basically, it's like a little piece of cotton. And obviously you could get this going with a lighter or matches, but let's light this up with a ferro rod. I'm just going to take and pull it apart until it's a little kind of fluffy, kind of like that, like a little cotton ball. And set the ferro rod down next to it. And there you go. And these will burn for, you know, a couple of minutes, and they make a great little tinder. Cotton balls and Vaseline is going to work just as good as something like this. It's going to be kind of an equivalent type of thing there. A couple of other interesting pieces that they throw in here for you are some Teflon cord and a ball bearing block. So this is a couple of great pieces of kit to use with a bow and drill fire. So that would be a great little addition there. I've done a couple of videos on bow and drills before if you guys want to see how to use those. Alright, so we've also got just a small little kind of a cheap frost cutlery knife here, and you know that could obviously be used for striking ferro rod or any of that kind of stuff. So we've got some steel wool in here. Now you can take and spark a ferro rod with steel wool. You might even be able to get it go with a lighter. I don't know. What you want to look for with steel wool is you want to get at least triple-aught or quadruple-aught steel wool to get it to work well. Kind of tear it apart and make it into like a little bird's nest. Get some air in there. And this actually this is enough to do probably 3 or 4 fires really. But anyway, if you've got a 9-volt battery or anything like that, then you can just take, bugs are getting bad in here, and just kind of hold them, and then that's going to start it up just like that. And as you can see, it gets real hot real quick, and you can put that inside of a tinder bundle of dried grasses or anything like that, and that's going to work real well for igniting a tinder bundle and that kind of thing. And it's just see it just burning there, and it makes a lot of really nice heat, so that's kind of a cool one too. Alright, the other thing you put in here is a little pencil sharpener so you can make some wood shavings, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you might be able to use this pencil sharpener with these little pieces of fat wood. I'm going to give that a shot and see if that works. Now obviously you could just make some regular scrapings just like this if you wanted to. And that's going to work too. But you probably, if you're not real familiar with that method, take your shavings, just kind of get it about pencil size. There you go. And you can just take and make some pitchwood shavings that'll light up real well with either a spark or the lighter. Oh, I know what I did with the ferro rod. I took it out of the kit when I went hiking the other day. It's actually in my backpack the other day. I just remembered that. I was raiding it. It's just a small little Ranger style ferro rod. Nice little ferro rod. I'll show it to you here in a sec. Okay, so I can take these little pitchwood shavings like that, and I could use a lighter, or I can use ferro rod, either way. There we go. That lights that up, and you've got, you know, quite a bit here. You'd be able to get several fires going with just that little bit. And this little pencil sharpener does a nice job, you know, making some really good shavings there. So, pretty cool. Okay, last but not least, last thing we'll do, look at all that oil, man, that's good pitch. See that black smoke coming up? Last thing we'll do here is just a real quick tinder bundle with some jute twine. And basically all you want to do with the jute twine is just take a section of it. You don't need the whole thing, maybe a foot or something. Cut that off. And what you're going to do is you're going to spread out these fibers. Just take and twist them apart and unravel them and make it into kind of a bird's nest. Light and airy, fluffy, what you're looking for. Just take and pull it all apart, make it a big ratty, nasty mess. Got some fish going up the creek over here if you can hear that. This is kind of tightly woven, but just takes a little bit of time. Pull it apart. So you get it into a little, just kind of a balled up rat's nest, kind of like that. And then you layer down, hit it with some sparks. Boom, lights right up. Now the more you have, obviously, the longer it's going to last. Maybe we'll get that start burning again. Maybe not. So you can do stillable with flame too. I think some of that's still hot from earlier too. But anyway, that's jute twine. Again, it's still going down here. Not a bad tinder either. And then you've got a wet fire starting tinder. You guys have all seen those before, I'm sure. Let me show you lighting a candle with a ferro rod real quick. What you got to do, there's a little bit of a trick to it, is you got to take and you got to kind of, you want to get the end of the wick kind of splayed open a little bit so that it can catch some spark if you can. Alright. So then you just take your ferro rod here. This sometimes takes a little bit of doing, but you can usually get it. Kind of push down on it to hold it steady. Direct that spark right there at the base. Build up a little hot spot. It's trying to go. Get a little closer. There it goes. Just had to get it close enough. And like I said earlier, those tea lights are great because they're going to be really good for starting a fire with wet tinder or something like that. Anyway, guys, that is just a real quick look at the Stanford Outdoor Supply fire kit. It's a good little kit. Oh, you also got the wire saw in here. I forgot to show you that. You got a little wire saw in there for gathering wood and stuff too. I've also done a video on using those. Make sure you take a green stick and make a bow out of it in order to use those. Trying to use it with two fingers is it's gonna break on you real quick. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So I'll throw links in the description below where you can check this out. As always, I definitely appreciate when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you've got any questions, put that in the comments below. And don't forget to live the 6 P's. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.